Hey everybody, welcome to Life Behind the Cover. I am Taylor, and today we're doing the Reading Rush TBR. So, it was my birthday on Friday, which is why I didn't post, and also where I got this fan that I cannot stop using.
Oh, honey.
In the middle of the night, somebody will just be going to the bathroom and I'll be like, I can't stop using. I also got the camera that I'm filming this on, which is very exciting. I have some wonderful family and friends. And a boyfriend. I don't know that he counts in family and friends. He's not my family and I don't like him enough to be a friend. So I'm incredibly excited to be doing the Reading Rush this year. It'll be my first year doing it. I've wanted to for the past couple of years. Timing hasn't been right, and at least this year I feel like I'm going to be forced to do it because I'm going to be uploading vlogs every day. I swear to God, I'm fucking over my life here, guys. I'm lucky that I only work during the school year, so I have the time off to do it, but it's going to be a crazy day, especially once you see what I have picked. Like, I think I'm making it quite difficult for myself. I'm going to go through each of the categories and tell you what I picked for it. And then we're going to have one that I pick on camera later. So, let's get started. The first question is, pick a book with the cover that's a color of your birthstone. I was born in July. Obviously, it was just my birthday on Friday, so I am a ruby. Also, red is my favorite color, so this was kind of perfect. It didn't end up being perfect, however, when there was an awful incident that happened. The book reading incident of 2020, where I accidentally started reading the book that I picked for this category. So, I chose Saga Volume 2. You can see it somewhere. If I move over here, it's going to be here. What am I doing? The problem was, I bought it in ebook form. So, I thought I'd just bought like the first little volume, and then I would be reading Volume 2. And so I just kept reading Volume 1, and it turned out that I had not bought just Volume 1, but like a compendium of like 3 volumes, and I accidentally went into reading the second volume. It was not clear enough to me, to be fair. On my account, it was not clear that we were changing to something different. So, I'm still counting this. It still has a red cover. I'm going to, instead of reading Volume 2, I'm going to read Volume 4 because I did get into Volume 3 without realizing that I had. So I'm going to finish Volume 3 in the next couple days, hopefully, and then when Reading Rush starts, I'm going to read Volume 4. It is not red, but I'm still counting it because Saga does technically have a red cover. I mean, it's mostly blood, but it's still red. So the next category is a book that starts with the. Where did I put the book? And my choice for this was The Dream Thieves, which is the second book in the Raven cycle. I've read the first book. I love it so much. I don't continue. If you see any of the books I said I have to read this year, that you already know that. Like, I have trouble continuing. I get scared that they're not going to be as good. So this is a perfect opportunity to read this. I think, though, this is probably the book I am least excited to read because the other books are either more recent or more recent to me, the idea of reading them, and this book is just a book that I've been having to read. I'm sure that once I get into it, it's going to be really great, but for now, I'm least happy about this one. This next one I don't have in a physical form because I'm going to be reading it in an audiobook, and that is, the next category is pick a book that inspired a movie. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This one was hard for me because I feel like everything that I've wanted to read and then see I have, except for The Darkest Minds, which I didn't see the movie and want to read the book, and I didn't want to force myself to watch the first movie so I could read the book in here. And then I found Stardust and I thought, that's kind of a perfect idea because I love the movie, it's so whimsical, it's so fun. And when I looked, the audiobook was like 3 hours long. When I saw it, I was like, no way. But apparently it is, so it's going to be perfect. So I have a plan that I'm going to read this one in Saga in one day and watch Stardust, the movie, after I read it. So hopefully then I have 1 day's buffer for the other books because the other books are all big. So the next book is the first book that you touch, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to show you the 2 books. So the first one is Of Curses and Kisses by Sanja Menon. And the next book, which is the one I really want to read right now, even though both of these I want to read, is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. Both of these books look amazing and right down my alley. Weirdly enough, I really wanted to read this one more than this one right now. Like, I'm on a contemporary kick. It's all the sports anime I've been watching. So, I'm going to go out there, have my sister move them all around, and I'm going to pick the one that I got. Okay, so I'm in a different part of my house for this one because my bedroom doesn't have enough room for me to do this while I have all my filming stuff out. You're probably going to hear people in the background. My nephew is having a shower right now, loudly. I did his makeup and zombie makeup, so we really had to scrub. So, I am doing the first book I touch. Now, there's a lot of ways people can do this. I've chosen 2 books that I really want to read, and I'm going to have my sister switch them all around, and then I'm going to touch whatever the first one is that I decide to touch. So I know that there's a lot of ways that people can do this. I knew I could have grabbed a whole stack, but the fact is I would like to win this reading rush, and that means reading 7 books, so all of them have to be something I'm interested in. Hi, I'm trying to film, Stefano. I told you I was doing this.
Is this an outtake?
Now it is. I hope this is getting it.
Okay.
There's one I would prefer over the other.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they feel different because one is a hardcover.
Yeah.
But I don't know which. Are they like here?
Yep. Boom.
This is the one that I wanted.
That's good. Great job.
Okay, so I got really lucky in that You Should See Me in a Crown was the one that I'm going to be reading for Reading Rush. I keep going to say booktubeathon. It's Reading Rush now. I just feel like since I haven't picked small books, I need to be picking books that I really want to read. And as much as I want to read Of Curses and Kisses, this one is the one I want right now. The next book is a book that you have to read completely outside. So this one can be anything, any kind of book. I have chosen Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Now, I've talked about this book. I'm afraid to read this book, and I have to read this book with my best friend. That was kind of the choice. So, what's going to happen is, because we're still social distancing where I am, especially me, because I am immunocompromised, we're going to read this social distancing outside of my house together. So, it kind of fit perfectly that way, because we have to read it together, and I have to read a book outside. So, we're going to do a buddy read on this one for, I almost said booktubeathon again. Fuck. So, we're going to do a buddy read for Reading Rush this year, and I'm excited and nervous still. The next category is a book genre that you want to read more of, or a book in a genre you want to read more of. So for me, I never read contemporary, unless it's queer, which is also maybe a running theme here, but I've been getting more into contemporary right now. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's the sports anime, but I've decided that that's kind of what I want to go into more this year for right now. And this is a book that I was incredibly excited about, which is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. First off, look at how happy this book is. This book is so fun and happy. I'll Be the One is about a plus-sized Asian girl who wants to be a K-pop star. And if you know anything about K-pop, you know that most of the stars, I'm not even going to say most, nearly all the stars are about this big around, and she enters into a K-pop contest. I also think this is queer. Is she bi, maybe? Again, I don't look that deep into it, but it looks really, really fun, and I'm excited. The last book category is pick a book that takes place on a different continent. I live in Canada, I live in North America. This one I thought maybe I'll Be the One would be, but it doesn't take place in Korea. It takes place in California. So I defined a new one, but it was perfect timing for Night of the Dragon. I can't explain this book. It is the last book in the trilogy of Shadow of the Fox. We read each book in our book club, and so this is our next book club pick because we're at the end of our rotation. So we get a book that everybody wants to read, which is this one. And it's also going to be perfect because this takes place in feudal Japan. I know it takes place in Japan. I said that like I didn't know. I know. I didn't know if it was feudal. It takes place in an older version of Japan with a lot of Japanese myths and legends. I'm really excited about the Reading Rush. Not just because I've picked a bunch of books that I want to read, which I have. I want to read all of these books. But also because it's a mix of a lot of things. It's a mix of new releases and books that have been on my shelf. It's a mix of diversities of all different kinds. And it's a mix of genres. So I think it's going to be really good. What is not that good is that I've chosen long books. I picked 2 books that were shorter, but the rest are really, really long. I'm going to calculate how many pages I'm going to have to read a day. 1 second. Okay, so I did the math. This is not including Saga or Stardust, which I'm hoping to read in one day, audiobook and graphic novel. and watch the movie and edit a video, apparently. I made that choice. Great. In total, I'd have to read 1,843 pages in a week. And if I read each of these for 6 days, I'd have to read 308 pages a day to win this challenge. And by winning this challenge, I mean reading every book I've picked. 7 books. That's an insane amount of pages. Like, I know that I can do that. I've done that before. But I tend to do that with a book where I'm like, it's like a finale and I'm like racing through it. I don't typically read that many pages in a day. And I'm probably going to fail. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you have a reading rush for TBR, let me know down below. If you like this video, please give it a like and watch out for daily vlogs when the reading rush starts, which is July 20th. And subscribe if you want to see those vlogs. Thanks for watching.